All right. Senator Holt, define for us what, oh, pardon me. Yeah, that's right. Okay, define for us what it means to be a conservative.
It says define what it means to be conservative. Did everybody hear that? Well, some people would say being conservative means you stick to this. I mean, that would be my definition. Just period. This is what it means to be an American. It's encapsulated. A conservative means you believe in God. You believe the Second Amendment should never be infringed, ever. And it doesn't mean about assault weapons. I'll tell you, there's some people here that say, oh, we shouldn't have assault weapons, folks. The Second Amendment wasn't to protect us from Bambi, okay? It was meant to protect us from an over-oppressive government, okay? Being a conservative means you stand up and you fight regardless of the cost. Folks, I had a picture on my wall in the National Security Agency when I was a watch officer there, and it said this. It was by Nikita Khrushchev. It said, from when America falls, it will fall from without. It won't fall from without. It will fall from within like a ripe piece of fruit into our hands. And we won't have to fire a single shot. Guys, the thing that is killing our country is we have people that go up there with no fidelity to this. This is what it means to be a conservative.
I basically agree with what Jim said, except I'd add a word to that word conservative, compassionate conservative. I think that is so important that we recognize that. And I speak out, you know that here tonight, but you go ask my colleagues in the Arkansas Senate today, all across this state, whether Kim Hendren speaks up, but he can still be agreeable. That's why I've had some surprising people, not lobbyists, but my friends that you'd be surprised, maybe slip me $100 once in a while. And I appreciate that. But I'll tell you what, folks, conservative is right, but you've got to be compassionate. And I think of a verse that I like that goes something like this. The wounds of a friend are a whole lot better than the kisses of an enemy. And am I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? We don't have to be ugly. The people in Arkansas want somebody that'll be real and compassionate. And if I can, Dixie Cafe last night or the Brown Cafe in Benton this afternoon, they want somebody they can talk to and who will speak up for them and take the heat when it comes, like some of my veterans here talk about combat, because it's there.
Mr. Coleman?
Thank you. I believe it means you love God with all your heart, you love your family, and you love your country, and you love the truth, and you love your enemies and bless those that curse you, and do good to those who despitefully use you. I believe it means that this is your guide for all you do with the federal government, and that you commit to faithfully representing your constituents and representing this document, and that you're willing to lay down your life for any of those things at any moment without a second thought, without reconsideration, that you walk into the battle having your mind made up who you are and what you'll fight for and how you'll live.
Mr. Alexander?
I think the word conservative embodies our Constitution and traditional American values. That's what it means to be a conservative. It includes some qualities that are being eroded, like self-reliance. Once in a while, we all need help, but it shouldn't be a way of life. We believe in small government. We believe that the best government is that that's closest to us, that we can solve our own problems within the states our own way. And what's the best course of action for one state may not be the same thing for another. But we've got to get away from this sense that we have to take care of people. It is insulting. We've got to teach people to be self-reliant. We've got to teach people that they need to give back to their community, but they do that person to person, not through the government.
All right, this is our final question. Curtis, we know each other, so excuse me for being...
It's good. I've been calling you governor. Start calling you governor pretty soon.
Has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? What federal tax do you think should be reduced and by how much? And what federal tax should be increased and by how much?
Well, I can answer the second question first. Not one single one of them need to be increased. But, we've got a job problem here. I mean, it's really the #1 issue in Arkansas. And how are we going to create jobs? We're going to create jobs by creating an environment in this state, in this country, where small businesses which are the job economic creation engine of our economy, can grow and prosper. And that means we have to get government out of our faces, out of our pocketbooks, and out of our back offices. And it means that we have to reduce the compliancy costs for small businesses. And it means we have to get rid of corporate capital gains taxes to encourage investors to invest in small businesses. We have to reduce corporate taxes to reduce the cost of business. But more importantly, folks, we have got to reduce this smothering, stifling, anti-business, bureaucratic environment that's killing small business in our country. That's when we begin to prosper, and that's why we've got to reduce those taxes.
Randy?
I wouldn't increase any tax, and I think I can very comfortably say if you elect me as your senator, I will never vote for a tax increase in my lifetime. We've got all the money we need and more being thrown away, wasted, spent on programs that the federal government shouldn't be involved in. One of the things that I think is critical is to reform our tax code. I've looked at a few. I've looked at the fair tax, the flat tax. I kind of lean toward the fair tax, but I'm open to suggestions. But we need a system that is fair, that is simple, that is transparent. Right now, our tax code is over 70,000 pages, increases at a rate of about 700 pages a year. That's Harry Potter 4. Why is that? It is so incomprehensible and complex that our congressmen use this to reward the special interest groups that put them in office, and we don't even see it. It's done through earmarks, it's done through legislation and new tax rules that we never even see. So reforming the tax code is critical to getting our country back on its feet.
All right, I think everybody has had exactly the same amount of time so far, so you guys don't get a rebuttal on this one, Senator. Sorry about that.